ושמחת בחגיך והיית אך שבע ושמחת והיית אך שבע ושמחת בחגיך והיית אך שבע ושמחת בחגיך והיית אך שבע.
Welcome, ALEPH friends, to our Sukkah. I'm Rabbi Laura Duhan-Kaplan, and I am here with my husband Charles Kaplan and our friend Dave Kauffman. Come on in. The Sukkah recalls our ancestors' wanderings in the wilderness when they were guests on other people's lands, and we are grateful this Sukkot to be welcomed as guests here in Vancouver on the ancestral territories of the Musqueam, Squamish, and Tsleil-Waututh peoples. The Zohar, classic work of Jewish mysticism, says that a sukkah is a kind of axis mundi, a confluence of the world's spiritual forces. It's on the earth. It's open to the heavens. Its story looks back to the past. Its meaning points us toward a hopeful future. All you have to do is enter a sukkah, and all the spiritual forces, all of the sfirot, wander in. The sfirot are our ushipizin, an Aramaic word for guests. The Zohar teaches us several different ways to welcome ushipizin, the sfirot, during this holiday. Each sfirah has a story to tell about the way that it weaves in and out of our lives. Some of these stories are the stories of our biblical ancestors. Avraham's life, for example, tells a story about chesed. Sometimes Avraham expresses chesed, like when he welcomes guests into his tent. And sometimes Avraham loses the thread of chesed, like when he is raising his sons and is not very good at it. Yitzchak, for example, tells the story of Gevurah, power. Sometimes Yitzchak steps into his own power, like when he negotiates a treaty with Avimelech. And sometimes Yitzchak is tossed around by the power of other family members, his father, his wife, his sons. Not surprisingly, the Zohar teaches us to welcome 7 male ancestors and their stories during the holiday of Sukkot. But there are also traditions of welcoming female ancestors. The Zohar itself says that one of the aims of our spiritual journeys is to find Shekhinah, a feminine face of God, in ourselves and in our lives. And I do talk about this in my new book, Shekhinah, Bring Me Home, Kabbalah and the Omer in Real Life. Here's an image representing one technique for inviting female ancestors and their energies into your sukkah this week. Each ancestor herself also struggled to weave a particular sphira into her life story. Mother Sarah, chesed, love. Queen Esther, Gevurah, power. The prophet Huldah, Tiferet, balance. The peacemaker and negotiator Avigail, Netzach, victory. Mother Hannah, Hod, gratitude. General Devorah, foundation for her people, Yesod. The prophet Miriam, Shekhinah, the indwelling divine presence, the cosmic mother, the ideal mother. Miriam herself never had any biological children, but she worked as a midwife. She led thirsty people to water. She restored their courage through music. When something was out of balance in her own family, she stepped forward and spoke up about it. Can you find the Miriam energy in your own life and inside yourself this week? How might you welcome it?
תיקח אליה מרים הנביאה את הטוב בידיה תיקח אליה מרים הנביאה את הטוב בידיה ותצאנה כל הנשים אחריה ותצאנה כל הנשים אחריה ותצאנה תיקח אליה מרים הנביאה את הטוב בידיה.
When we first moved here to British Columbia in 2005, I was trying to explain to my colleagues at Children's Hospital where I was working why I was unavailable for so many meetings during the month of September. And they all kind of nodded appreciatively as I described Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. And when I described Sukkot, they laughed. And I said, "What's funny?" And they said, "You're going to build a hut with an open roof now in the rainforest?" And so it was. For years, we have had many soggy Sukkot gatherings, dodging raindrops. And when we get to Shmini Atzeret and pray for rain, it seems superfluous. But not this year. This year and last, we're experiencing the effects of climate change here in the rainforest. Last year, when the rain season really began, we had an atmospheric river that dumped copious rain, causing torrential flooding and landslides. And this year, we have had no rain. It's very dry in our beloved rainforest, and we're worried about it. So this year, when we pray for rain at Shmini Atzeret, it will be with our whole hearts. And so we leave you with a blessing for health during the coming year, and that all of the blessings of heaven come down to you at the right time, in the right place, and in the right amounts. Chag Sameach.